Can content writers earn a steady six-figure income? If yes, how do they achieve that and how you can do it too? Today in this video, you'll learn from one. And I coach freelance writers and help them to find clients. And this is our special guest today. And she's going to talk about research. She's going to help you with research. And
awesome. Well, hi, everyone. I am super grateful to 𝗖𝗂𝗿𝗍 for inviting me, first of all. Mm-hmm. And I would also like to say it wasn't that long ago that I was a newbie freelance writer as well. I'm currently almost 3 full years into my journey, which is super exciting. And to look back and think, I started writing on a little tablet with a little Bluetooth keyboard, and now I have, my own home office. So it's been a really big journey. And I also own an LLC now. So basically, long story short, I'm all in, and it's been wonderful. And I hope that, something great happens for you all as well. It's been 3 years since I started. The end of this year will be 3 years since I got my very first client on Fiverr. I no longer work through Fiverr anymore, but it was great for getting my business off of the ground. I have been in professional writing for about 5 or 6 years. So I was familiar with the industry before I did jump in. Mm-hmm. And that does make a difference, but you don't necessarily have to be coming from professional writing or journalism in order to succeed. There's so much to write about. So I'm excited to talk about some things that I hope will improve that writing and make you more valuable to clients.
Yes.
So I'll start with talking a little bit more about what I do, just so you know where I'm coming from and my expertise. I focus on content writing, journalistic style content writing, and straight up journalism. So in addition to writing for company blogs and occasionally through agencies for content writing, I do also write for local publications, journalism content. And that's kind of where the storytelling aspect comes in. Journalism is really about telling a story, and content writing is too. It's not just, telling the facts, but painting a picture. So even if you don't come from a journalism background, I would say it's great to research that kind of writing and brush up on your storytelling. The specific industries that I write about are finance and investing, the environment, digital marketing, and like I said, local news and magazine writing. And just a little celebration so that way you know what's possible. I did surpass the 6-figure mark so far in 2021, which is super exciting.
Yay! Congratulations.
Thank you. I think more importantly for me, I'm preparing to take a month-long break. Mm-hmm. I've been working pretty hard this year, and I think that was my real goal. I didn't even make a 6-figure goal for the year. I just wanted to take a month off at the end of the year. So that'll be coming up soon. And I think it's really important to balance as an entrepreneur and a self-employed person, balance that kind of view. I do try to keep it diversified. So that way, the more clients you have, if you lose a client, you're not losing 50 to 100% of your income. So you never know what's going to happen. So usually I've got anywhere from I usually have about 4 regular clients that I do weekly content for. And then I also have another 3 or 4 that I do content for either monthly or every now and then.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you for answering it.
Yeah, I would say a lot of people think it's pretty scary going into freelance writing, but once you get your groove, it's actually a lot safer than, full-time employment, because if you get laid off from your job, that's it. You have to find a totally new job, but freelancing, you can kind of pick yourself up.
Yeah, once you build authority, you are the one firing people. Right? Once you build authority, they come and they chase you.
and you are the one, you can fire your clients if you want. Hopefully not, you don't have to. Hopefully you have the right clients, but like you have control.
And also I wanted to talk about a little bit of why keyword research is such a great thing to know as a freelance writer. First and foremost, it's really quick and easy to implement once you have the basics down. It's also a really great value proposition. Simply by saying you know about SEO, you can do a little bit of keyword research and incorporate search engine optimization into the content that you offer. You could easily double the cost of a blog and increase your income rapidly. And it's not necessarily increasing the amount of time that you're putting into that work. It's just adding a little bit. I would also say it helps writers switch from charging per word or per hour to more lucrative and simple project rates. For example, you could say, I charge $300 to $500 for a blog, instead of saying I charge 30 to 50 cents per word, or I charge $30 to $50 per hour. It's just a little bit easier, so that way you know how much you're making. There won't be any surprises for your client. And it's just like, it's a little bit nicer that way.
Can I say something? Like all freelancers successful that I've encountered, and actually I hired a coach when I was starting. That's why I have this mindset far way ahead. It's like, man, if you're charging per word, no one, like, you can't succeed fast when you're charging per word. Like, you need to package your services. You need to, because when you are charging per word, you are just showing the clients that your value isn't just in the word. You're not providing anything else than that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right. Because, and when you present those project rates, sometimes I like to offer 3 to 5 bullets about why I have that rate and the value specifically that I am providing, including SEO, keyword research.
Yeah, because the value of your work is not summarizing, just setting and writing. You do all the research. You spend time, and you give maybe a strategy session to help your clients to improve his marketing strategy. If it's not going well, you do much more than just the writing. If you want to be a good writer and make money out of it, like make a good living.
Recently, I have a client right now who I love, and I've been working with them for almost a year and a half. However, the person who I used to report to, their role was actually dissolved, but they kept me on, and now I report to the former employee's superior, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And originally I was charging, I think it was $240 for, a long form blog. But then when that switch up happened, I actually touched base and was like, hey, why don't I add SEO research? You've been working with me for more than a year now, so I have the brand familiarity and I can get this done pretty quickly. So I actually increased the rate by 75% just in that one conversation. And
wow.
Yeah, it really makes a difference down the line.
Mm-hmm. You can
keep going. This third point here on the high level SEO tips, there are 2 ways to go about choosing a topic for your next blog, or for a company's next blog. You can either choose the topic that you want to write about first, and then find keywords within that frame. So for example, say you want to write about the benefit. I'm just about to start working with a personal loan brand, so this is kind of top of mind right now. So you could either say, I want to write about bad debt, and then choose great keywords within that topic, or you can find great keywords within the greater industry and then choose specific topics based on the keywords that show up within your research. So there's kind of 2 ways to go about it, and they're kind of the reverse of each other. But I think if you use a hybrid of the 2, you'll have a great strategy moving forward. Another thing, just adding in there, you won't always be asked to choose the topics for your clients' work, but some clients don't want to spend the time to come up with topics, and you can offer that as a value proposition as well, and that will also increase the price of your content. Aside from keyword research for SEO, part of being a great SEO blog writer is writing well and writing quickly. So I think something that I'm good at is writing quickly, and that has definitely helped me just have a little bit more breathing room in my day. As far as where I found goes, not necessarily as clients, but more importantly, it helps me keep my sanity. I would say when you're chasing clients, look for clients who could potentially be long-term clients that come back to you every month, but preferably, you know, every week or more. And
yeah, that's what
like,
I said in the last live.
Yeah, it's just like saving time on marketing. No one wants to be spending more time marketing than actually writing. So
yeah, like when you were looking for a project, like that's the third level of conversation you should have as a client, like as an entrepreneur. Like, what's the potential of be working with that client again? You know, usually if their needs are blog posts or email marketing, if they are serious about investing in those, you are going to, if they like you, they're going to keep you, and they're going to be long-term project because they needed blog posts weekly if they want to keep, you know, giving value to their audience and making money. They need to keep investing.
And it's stressful for clients to keep finding new writers. Like, they don't want to be doing that. So, you know, be that beacon of light that makes it easy for them too.
Yeah, for sure. I was interested in losing weight, and you know, so for me it's beneficial. So if you are the same, if you like to read about a certain topic, maybe you were starting, maybe you should think about that, and you don't know what niche you should serve, you should think about what you like to read as well. It's a good idea. If it's profitable, of course, you need to think of that as well.
Which is why you see me writing about both finance and the environment, because I love the environment, but that's not really where most of my money comes from. Ideally, I really would like to write about, you know, environmental investing, which is a huge growing industry, but you know, it takes a while to become an expert on anything. So it's good to have those goals, but a lot of people say, you know, niche down. They tell you to choose a niche because you'll make more money. And that can be true. But I think niching down, like you said, really helps you keep your finger on the pulse of the industry that you are writing about.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, when you're reading, you want to read different styles of writing. So long form, short form, figure out what is most captivating to you. And then when clients come to you and say, what do you think? What should I do? You actually have an opinion and you know what works. I would also say, you know, if you're busy writing or building your business, there's always podcasts, audiobooks, ebooks. You don't actually have to read physical books if you don't want. There's just so many options nowadays.
I only like physical books. I
also love physical books. Yeah, I'm never going to be a Kindle person, I tell you. But I also walk my dogs a lot, and podcasts are a huge part of my life. So
yeah, me too.
And then I go to some resources. The first one that I think is super helpful for newbie writers is something called HubSpot Academy.
I love it.
Yeah.
I learned so much. Yeah.
It's all free classes. I mean, literally, it doesn't cost a dime. You can search their library.
They have paid course though, because I've seen, I was like, why they give so much free courses? Does they have any paid courses that they can upsell people?
They have software that they make money off of, I believe.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think that they really try to use this as a value proposition for their software, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there are SEO courses there, and even email copywriting courses, guys. If you whatever you want to specialize and provide to your client, go there because it's helpful. I've seen it and I've learned from it too.
Yeah, there's really all kinds, not just SEO content writing, but you can see here they have a certification course for learning all things SEO, including web optimization, link building, keyword research, all that jazz. This is a full certificate, so it probably takes a little bit longer, maybe like 8 or so hours, but there is courses that you can take in a couple of hours time. So I think my back button doesn't want to work. Oh, there we go. So yeah, basically I would say just take the time to browse. There's a content marketing certification course, email marketing, all kinds of stuff. It's just really great, in my opinion. I've taken a few of them. Probably going to take another one this winter when I'm not working. So let's go to some other resources that I mentioned. There's a book that I love, and it's also a Facebook group. Another one that, aside from the great newbie writers group that 𝗖𝗂𝗿𝗁 has, it's called The Freelance Content Marketing Writer. The book is by Jennifer Goforth Gregory. She is a 6-figure content writer in her own right. And I think the book focuses on really just like building the business and calling yourself a business owner. I own a freelance writing company as opposed to I'm a freelance writer. Like,
yes,
the difference.
Yes, because freelancers, they're still viewed as undervalued. But when you call yourself, you can say, I'm a content strategist, I am an email marketer, copywriter. It gives a person a different perspective, and it makes them, I don't know, it makes them feel you respect you more, because until now, freelancers, they're seen as, cheap, and you're not supposed to be cheap if you provide great value to your clients. Right. And the other thing I want to mention, Rachel, is a lot of people come to me and say, well, I love content. I love writing content, but I actually gonna pivot to copywriting because I heard it's more lucrative. If you want to, if you really want to make money with copywriting, maybe up level your skills, maybe learn SEO. What are the tips you give about that?
I also started out as a copywriter. So when I graduated college in 2017, I became a copywriter for a company. I was an in-house copywriter. And then I started freelancing, and I did do some copywriting, which meant some web copywriting, some landing pages, some social media. Eventually I realized I just like writing content more. So I kind of eased away from the copywriting and decided I'm just only going to offer content writing, basically. And at that point, at this point, I'm making a lot more than I was when I was a full-time copywriter or a freelance copywriter. So it seems to be just as, if not more lucrative for me. And I will say that as a freelancer, definitely making a lot more than I was as an in-house employee anywhere.
Yeah. So. Do you agree with me that if you pick a niche, of course, when you're first starting, a lot of you might not know which niche you should choose.
You can always change your niche as well.
Yes, so. Of course. Picking a niche and no more than 4 max type of writing helps you to succeed faster, instead of saying, well, I write SEO, I write email marketing, I do ghostwriting, because, clients are looking for results. They're not looking for SEO writing or ghostwriting or whatever. They're looking to be visible on Google. They're looking for more sales. So if you don't provide, if you're not an expert or don't understand deeply about A, B, and C max, then you are not going to be able to provide to your clients the results that you are less likely to provide to your clients the results they're looking for, because just like immigration, I study immigration laws, and there are so many things we could do with immigration. There is now business immigration, family immigration, economic immigration. So as lawyers and consultants, we cannot know everything. Like, we cannot know every single aspect of family law. You need to specialize in some things to give better results to your clients.
I totally agree. And like, as you do become more of an expert, that niche does change. So for example, I used to say I write personal finance content, and then it became finance and investing. And now when I directly reach out to clients, I say I'm an expert in impact investing or ESG investing, or I write about startups or things that I have samples in, because I've written about broader finance and investing so much that when you directly reach out to clients, you can say, actually, I write about this really specific thing, you know, that just happens to be relevant to you. So yeah, definitely agree with you there. Another resource I have is just a job board that I've gotten a couple of jobs off of, higher paying jobs, that is, because there are a ton of low wage job boards that are really not even worth your time. This one is called 𝗔𝗯𝗵𝗲𝗶. It's just like a job board that shares. Let's see if it loads here. I wonder why. It's probably just because we're streaming. It's being slow. Whatever the case, I'll talk about it. You basically make a free account and then look for the stories that are wanted. A lot of times they're more like creative or journalism stories, but there are a lot of content and marketing available on this job board. So it updates you with new opportunities, just to make it a little bit easier. So you'll see I go to the story market here. And these are stories wanted. And there are like specific ones that might not relate to you. Like, I'm not an Asia-based writer. I'm not in London, things like that. But you might be able to write about, I see a lot of things about like video game writing or entertainment writing or freelance editing, which might be something you're looking to get into. So there's all kinds of things that you can look at. One of my favorite clients I found on that job board. So it definitely worked out for me. There's also a magazine called Freelancer Magazine that you can get in print, which we said we like print publications and books. So, you know, why not throw that in there? Here's a podcast by someone you may have heard of, named 𝗖𝗂𝗿𝗆 𝗁𝗂. She was on like CNBC for making $300K on Fiverr in a year and buying a Jeep in cash. So like, she had this huge come up as a freelance writer, and now she interviews experts and kind of talks about what leads to success in freelancing.
That's awesome. I have another question for you. When it comes to magazine, when you write for magazine, because I see usually a lot of them pay per word, like Forbes is $1 per word. Some of them, do you get to negotiate what your rate is and they get to pay actually what you charge, or do you have to actually pay for what they pay? They say they pay?
Unfortunately, magazines usually aren't as well paying as like businesses. However, they always have what's called a byline attached to them, which means it says your name on it. I think that's super valuable. So supplementing your main higher earning writing with some magazine writing that might not make you as much, but it gets your name out there and positions you, like you said, as a subject matter expert in your field. So you have to think of value from different angles. Like, you never want to work for free and you don't want to take low rates, but saying, you know, getting a byline article in a noteworthy publication that has your name on it and helps you build your personal brand might be worth a little bit more than the dollar value. And I think this is the last page I have. So some more resources. This is Opportunities of the Week by Sonia Weiser. She is just like, she scavenges across Twitter looking for opportunities for writers and piles them into this twice weekly newsletter.
Ooh, I better sign up.
She's so great. It's journalism, but also content writing. I just emailed someone yesterday about an opportunity, just because even though I'm busy, freelancers are always looking for opportunities. It's a sliding scale. So it's anywhere from $0 to $36 a year for 2 newsletters a week that are chock full of opportunities. You can pay what you can. If you can't pay anything, just email her, and she's super understanding. She just tries to provide, a service to people as someone who's really good at that. So you can go, I'll send you the presentation if you need, so you can follow these links for yourself. And then I use Trello for project management. I can just show you my Trello real quick from high level. This is like my clients here. And you can just go in and write all my little projects that I have going on, so everything's organized. I believe you can have, if you just have a few clients, then it doesn't cost any money. Once you get more than like 10 clients that you're working with, it starts costing like $12 a month. So if you're just starting out, I think it's a really helpful tool to stay organized and make sure you're not missing any deadlines. Notion is another organizational tool that people use. I haven't used it for business yet, but I know people. This one's totally free for individuals. So if you do have more clients than Trello allows and don't want to pay, then it's a good alternative. And then I just have a couple of resources here for sending contracts and invoicing. So Wave is one, and I believe the fees for that are pretty low, and it's a really simple tool. And then another one, I use this. It's called Enco, but they just changed their name to Fiverr Workspace because they were bought by Fiverr. It's the same exact tool though, and you don't have to be on Fiverr to use it. That's just what they call it. And that way you can send like really legit looking invoices, get those 50% deposits before you start working, and make sure that you're not getting gypped by clients who don't want to pay you. And also have contracts signed by both parties, so that way you can make sure to get that money no matter what.
Yeah, for sure. Contracts. I learned, because I hired a coach, so I learned that I need to have a contract. Like, I don't know how writers do without a contract. You gotta get them to sign a contract.
For sure. So this is the end of my presentation.
But his question is, any programs needed to implement SEO in my writing? So I guess you showed all the tools. I guess that's what he meant.
So there are some tools that you can actually have like review your content and tell you exactly like, is your keyword density high enough? Once you start doing it enough, it kind of becomes like second nature, I think. But you can use tools like for example, if you have WordPress and are writing on WordPress, there's a plugin called Yoast. That is YOAST. And that kind of helps you identify where keywords should go. There's also something called SEMrush, SEMRUSH, SEMrush. I'm not super sure about all the pricing for like, I know if you're an enterprise company using SEMrush, it's going to cost you like a couple $100. But if you're just an individual, I'm not super sure. Like, I think there are some free tools and then like some stuff you might have to pay for. And then also, I guess I realized I forgot to put this into the presentation, but grammar tools like Hemingway and Hemingway is really helpful. It tells you what grade level you're writing at. Honestly, most content marketing writing is like a middle school grade level reading comprehension, which is good because you don't want to confuse people. So
yeah. So the other question that I got here is, from Roxanne, which free keyword research tool do you consider to be the best?
So I think Google Ads is probably the best, just because you can endlessly search all day long and it never costs you any money. You can also search different variations of keywords and then look to the Google SERP to see how it's performing in real time, and find out where those entries are. So I think Google Ads is definitely a great place to start.
Okay. Well, this was so great. Thank you so much. And guys, do you have any questions? So type your questions right now. So speak now or hold on to your piece until we have comments. So type in now. And before we end this, please comment #live if you watched it live, #replay if you watched that on replay. And I just want to mention, I have 4 more spots left if you need assistance in, landing clients, know how to get into a sales call or closing a client on a DM. If that's something you are struggling, I'm taking 3 more people or 4 more people, and we can chat about more if you're the right fit to work together with me. But if not, let me see here if people type in any more questions. I don't see any more questions, but I promise that it will come up because a lot of people will watch on replay this.
For sure. Yeah. You can always comment on the recording and just tag me or something and say, hey. You're also more than welcome to connect with me on LinkedIn. I try to have a pretty big LinkedIn presence, and it has come in handy. I've gotten a few inbound leads, which means people find me on LinkedIn, ask to work together, and then it's pretty much no effort on my end. So I would definitely recommend getting on LinkedIn.
Yes, connect with Rachel, guys.
So this is my profile. You'll see in this little section that you get to write something about yourself. Don't make it too long. I just wrote writer, finance, environment, local. Those are my main things that I'm advertising for. I also have a business, 𝗖𝗂𝗿𝗁𝗖𝗂𝗏 LLC. So I just kind of say like, it makes it look more legitimate if you say you actually like work somewhere rather than just like saying self-employed. Even if you don't have an LLC, you can make up a fun business name for yourself. So the about section is super important. I broke it down kind of like how I might break down a blog. I use subheadings and showed that I have good organizational skills. Bylines and clients. These are places where I've had articles and clients who I work with on a regular basis. My history. This is more just a little bit about me, but I also threw in some keywords in there like copywriting, content writing, and journalism. And my expertise, finance and investing, environment, and local issues. I haven't been advertising my digital marketing writing just because I'm not really looking for new clients in that space. And then I have my portfolio linked here and then my email. And also I think a super cool section of a LinkedIn profile is the featured section. Even if you don't have a website, which I would recommend getting a website at some point for your portfolio, this actually kind of serves as a portfolio. You can link to live articles that you've written, whether they have your name on it or not. And it shows kind of what kind of writing you do. Like here's an example of my environmental writing. It's a local publication talking about a clean water organization that's reducing pollutants in the area. And then I have something over here for a local energy consultant that I write for on their company blog talking about energy efficiency. And so it just shows like right on the page what you can do. And people really do look at that.
Yeah, they do.
And then, of course, your experience is another place where you can implement those keywords, blogs, content strategy, internal comms, journalism. I do interview sources, so I add that skill in there. Again, writing these niches, some clients that I've written for, and my information. And then my old, obviously you want some other experience there too, whether it shows writing experience, industry experience, or just general skill sets. I also have my HubSpot certifications here. You can see, so you can add those certifications right onto your LinkedIn page to show some credibility. Skills and endorsements. Sometimes people will endorse you for being skilled at things. And then recommendations. I actually have some long-term clients who I asked to write me some recommendations, and they sent these great testimonials right on your LinkedIn page.
Yeah, you can actually send them the link to that, and they can write it, and we'll link there. Yeah, it's super easy.
Super easy. And then, I think that's really the breadth of my LinkedIn page. But you can see there's so many places to really make use of all of those features.
And thank you so much for giving value. So we'll look forward to the questions afterwards, because a lot of people say they want to watch the recording. And if you need anything, I'm here. And you are such a great addition to the community. And I hope that we can connect soon.
Of course. It was so awesome to get on here and talk. And even for myself, kind of, look back and think all the stuff I've learned. Like, you are going to learn so much as a content writer, more than you ever would working as an employee at a company. Being a freelancer really kind of puts you on the fast track to becoming an expert in something. So
yes,
I'm excited for you all.
Yes. Have a great day, everybody. And type your questions and #live and #replay. Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.